Good morning. We are continuing with that chapter A. Chapter A is the Bible readings. We're reading about the patriarchs in the Bible. We're reading in the book of Genesis with this chapter about different patriarchs in Genesis. Last time we read about God calling Abraham and Abraham listening, and he places complete trust in God. Today we're going to read about the be respectful. Today we're going to read about the treachery and trickery. Twin steals inheritance. Oh my. So we are reading Genesis chapter 27. So open up Genesis and look for chapter 27. Oh. I love that so many of us looked on our reading guide and already had our Bibles open. In our school Bibles, it is page 57. Those of us at home, I do have it attached as a reading on the Google Classroom assignment if you do not have a Bible at home. All right, Genesis chapter 27, Jacob's deception. When Isaac, remember Isaac was Abraham's son, when Isaac was so old that his eyesight had failed him, he called his older son Esau and said to him, "My son." "Here I am," he replied. Isaac then said, "Now I have grown old. I do not know when I might die. So now take your hunting gear, your quiver and bow, and go out into the open country to hunt some game for me. Then prepare for me a dish in the way I like, and bring it to me to eat, so that I may bless you before I die." Because Esau is the oldest son, he is set to get the inheritance. Nowadays, inheritance gets split up amongst all of the kids, but back in the biblical times, it only went to the oldest. So the oldest was a very treasured position to have. Rebekah had been listening while Isaac was speaking to his son Esau. So when Esau went out into the open country to hunt some game for his father, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Listen, I heard your father tell your brother Esau, 'Bring me some game and prepare a dish for me to eat, that I may bless you with the Lord's approval before I die. Now, my son, obey me in what I am about to order you.'" So listen to your mom and do what mom says. "Go to the flock and get me 2 choice young goats, so that with these I might prepare a dish for your father in a way he likes. Then bring it to your father to eat, that he may bless you before he dies." But Jacob said to his mother Rebekah, "But my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I am smooth-skinned. Suppose my father feels me." Oh, think about what Rebekah is telling Jacob to do. When she's saying, go get these food so I can make the dish that your dad likes, and you can bring it to him to get the blessing, why would Jacob give the blessing? Why would Isaac give the blessing to Jacob? Nick?
Because he can't see.
Because he can't see well. He's very old. So Jacob's saying, but Esau has a lot of hair and I don't. What if he touches me? He's going to know I'm not Esau. So Rebekah is telling Jacob, pretend that you are Esau so you can get the inheritance. Oh, that's a little shady. Shh. "Suppose my father feels me, he will think I am making fun of him, and I will bring on myself a curse instead of a blessing." His mother, however, replied, "Let any curse against you, my son, fall on me. Just obey me. Go and get me the young goats." So Jacob went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she prepared a dish in the way his father liked. Rebekah then took the best clothes of her older son Esau that she had in the house and gave them to her younger son Jacob to wear. And with the goat skins she covered up his hands and the hairless part of his neck. Then she gave her son Jacob the dish and the bread she had prepared. Going to his father, Jacob said, "Father." "Yes," replied Isaac. "Which of my sons are you?" Hello, this is Kate. William G. Everybody else is absent. Yeah. Adrian's on vacation and the other two are in quarantine. Yep. Bye. What was that? Okay. Yep. Bye. Will G, you need to go do the Mac test. Mrs. Sorrentino is in the lab. Okay. So Isaac is asking, which of my sons are you? Jacob answered his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I did as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game so that you may bless me. But Isaac said to his son, how did you get it so quickly, my son? He answered, the Lord your God directed me. Isaac then said to Jacob, come closer, my son, that I may feel you, to learn whether you really are my son Esau or not. So Jacob moved up closer to his father. When Isaac felt him, he said, although the voice is Jacob's, the hands are Esau's. He failed to identify him because his hands were hairy. He like those of his brother Esau. So he blessed him. Again, Isaac said, are you really my son Esau? And Jacob said, I am. Then Isaac said, serve me, my son, and let me eat of the game so that I may bless you. Jacob served it to him, and Isaac ate. He brought him wine, and he drank. Finally, his father Isaac said to him, come closer, my son, and kiss me. As Jacob went up to kiss his son, Isaac smelled the fragrance of his clothes. With that, he blessed him, saying, so Jacob was wearing the clothes. So when Isaac smelled, it smelled like Esau. His hands had hair on it like Esau. So Isaac is truly believing. Jacob is really going all out to trick him. So here's the blessing. The fragrance of my son is like the fragrance of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give to you of the dew of the heavens and of the fertility of the earth, abundance of grain and wine. May peoples serve you and nations bow down to you. Be master of your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be those who curse you, and blessed be those who bless you. Jacob had scarcely left his father when Isaac had finished blessing him, when his brother Esau came back from his hunt. Then he too prepared a dish, and bringing it to his father, he said, let my father sit up and eat some of his son's game, that you may then give me your blessing. His father Isaac asked him, who are you? He said, I am your son, your firstborn son, Esau. Isaac trembled greatly. Who was it then, he asked, that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it all just before you came, and I blessed him. Now he is blessed. As he heard his father's words, Esau burst into loud, bitter sobbing and said, Father, bless me too. When Isaac said, your brother came here by a ruse and carried off your blessing, Esau exclaimed, he is well named Jacob, is he not? He has supplanted me twice. First he took away my right as firstborn, and now he has taken away my blessing. Then he said, have you not saved a blessing for me? Isaac replied to Esau, I have already appointed him your master. I have assigned to him all his kindred as his servants. Besides, I have sustained him with grain and wine. What then can I do for you, my son? But Esau said to his father, have you only one blessing, father? Bless me too. And Esau wept aloud. His father Isaac said in response, see, far from the fertile earth will be your dwelling, far from the dew of the heavens above. By your sword you will live, and your brother you will serve. But when you become restless, you will throw off his yoke from your neck. Esau bore a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. Esau said to himself, let the time of mourning for my father come so that I may kill my brother Jacob. When Rebekah got news of what her older son Esau had said to him, when Rebekah got news of what her older son Esau had in mind, she summoned her younger son Jacob and said to him, listen, your brother Esau intends to get his revenge by killing you. So now, my son, obey me. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haram, and stay with him a while until your brother's fury subsides, till your brother's anger against you subsides, and he forgets what you did to him. Then I will send you and bring you back. Why should I lose both of you in a single day? Jacob sent to Laban. Rebekah said to Isaac, I am disgusted with life because of the Hittite women. If Jacob also should marry a Hittite woman, a native of the land, like these women, why should I live? Oh my. So who knows what happened? Who knows what happened before this part of the story? So in this part of the story, Jacob is stealing the blessing. What comes before the blessing? The inheritance. Does anybody know what Jacob did to get the inheritance away from Esau? So if we were to read earlier in the story, he tricks his brother and tells Esau's super hungry. And Jacob made this most amazing smelling soup. And Esau's like, oh, I'm so hungry, give me soup. And Jacob says, I'll give you the soup if you give me your inheritance. And Esau's like, but I'm so hungry. And Jacob says, well, then give me your inheritance. And Esau does. He gives him his whole inheritance for this amazing smelling soup. He gives up the inheritance. So now it comes time to the blessing. He's supposed to also get this special blessing from Isaac, from God, right? It's coming through it. It's a blessing. And he misses out on the blessing now. So he already gave up his inheritance. Now he lost his blessing because Jacob tricked Isaac and got the blessing. So Esau's super mad. You stole my inheritance from me, which he really didn't. He gave it up because he was not making a smart choice. But now he stole the blessing. So Esau's super upset. So what I want us to do for today's activity, and those of us at home, if this is attached to the assignment, is we're going to have to think about playing favorites. So we have Rebekah and Jacob. I want you to look back at the reading and write down on the column that says Rebekah. You're going to write down things that Rebekah said. Give evidence. You've worked a lot on evidence with Mrs. Gregory. Give the evidence that Rebekah was most to blame. And on Jacob's side, give evidence that Jacob is to blame. So you're going to look, what blame does Rebekah have in stealing the blessing, and what blame does Jacob have in stealing the blessing? So what did Rebekah say and do? What did Jacob say and do? And then at the bottom, you decide who is most to blame. So write down all the evidence that points to Rebekah. Write down all the evidence that points to Jacob. And then on the bottom, say who you think really is to blame for stealing the blessing from Esau. Was it mostly the mom, Rebekah, or was it mostly Jacob, the brother?
Jacob.
So put your name on top, first and last name, fill in your evidence, and write it on bottom. So we have 4 complete the sentences on our reading guide. So complete those sentences on the reading guide. So you should have the first 2 sections of the reading guide done. And then we are doing filling in the 2 columns. Who is to blame? They both have some blame, but then decide who is more to blame. And write why. Why is that person more to blame? Caden, can you pass these out, please? Yeah. So I'm going to say goodbye to my friends at home, and I hope you are feeling well, and we see you soon. Have a good day.